it doesn't even matter if they're pushed up for. They'll just walk past it.
Yeah, I agree. So, who knows though? That's where a lot of this comes into play. Are we about to witness god tier gameplay? Are we about to witness a Morgana that's never missed a Q? Are we about to witness a Zyra who's popping off, who every single snare that gets tossed out gets hit? Are we going to see Eric's roommate land some charms in the mid lane on Nico? Are we going to see a Nico that utilizes the ability to become anything? Are we going to see a Nico that's becoming a creep in the mid lane? Are we going to see a Nico that's turning into a ward? You know, who knows what we're going to be witnessing in these incredible community games sponsored by Amazon Statcast and Tito's Vodka and our newest sponsor this week, Zyn. If you want an addiction, get yourself some Zyns. It's the best. How good of an ad read would that have been, though?
That's pretty good. I really wish that they would give you May.
Yeah, me too. We need to get some money.
I'm really hyped, and hopefully at some point in these community game nights, we'll see a Nico pull up some kind of sneaky play. I don't even think we've seen in community game nights a Nico even use her passive yet.
No, we haven't.
So it would be quite excellent if we could see her become anything. A ward?
Yep.
Maybe a Zyra plant walk around would be kind of cool.
Oh, yeah, true.
A red buff, just anything this game would be really cool to see.
I couldn't agree with that more. Bro, I saw someone play Kate jungle earlier. They just farmed and ulted from jungle over and over. Oh my god. That sounds... I mean, if I had a Caitlyn jungle on my team, I'd be pissed. But I would love to watch that.
The problem with unconventional picks like Caitlyn is what decides a good jungler is essentially how fast they can clear. Most normal junglers should be able to clear by like 310.
Yeah.
That's like the criteria for a good solo jungle. But if they're around like 330 or 340, they're just too slow. Like if you make Ashe jungle, she's gonna be like 345, and then she's just 30 seconds late for every clear. It's way too slow.
And that's me. I'm like a 330 jungle clear guy. Even on like high clear champions. I'm so bad. I don't understand it.
Take a look at who's on each champ right here. Let's take a look at the matchups. How are you feeling about the top lane matchup?
The top lane matchup I think is going to be pretty solid all the way across the board. I will say this is going to be the first time that we're witnessing Sprangus play any other role other than mid or bottom. So that's got to be something that we've got to have a conversation about and one that we need to keep an eye on. I've never seen Sparran play Garen. I've never seen him play the top lane. So, meanwhile, he's going up against Luna Blackmoon, Starvin, on Kale, and we know she's got a lot of hours and a lot of reps on that champ. So, we'll see how things go. We'll see how things pan out. But I right now, at this current state, as I take a look at my StatCast, my sheet here, I've got Starvin winning top lane. What are your thoughts?
I think so too, mostly because Kale is a really early game or a really late game champ, so even in lane it's really hard. But Garen's just so easy to play. Like even if Kale wins a trade, his passive will keep him back in.
I agree.
So I think even most bad players will win on Garen.
I couldn't agree with that more actually. Good amount of damage very early on. Is Ashe running Hail of Blades? She's not. Lethal Tempo. Okay.
What's really fun about Ashe as a champion is you can go so many different builds. You can go the Infinity Edge build, the Trinity Force build, the Ginsu's Rage Blade on hit build. I'm excited to see what Dina decides to play.
Yeah, Dina does have a lot of experience in game and has a lot of games underneath her belt. I don't know how many games she's played on Ashe. Has she played a ton of games of Ashe? You're the one that would know more than me.
Peach is trying to get me to see if her dress is okay. It looks good.
Her dress? Where's she going?
We're supposed to go to downtown for New Year's. Yeah, it looks good.
You both of you or just her?
Yeah, both of us. It's like 4 hours away.
Oh my god, okay. Jeez. Eric's roommate taking some early damage here. Pretty conventional starts for both junglers.
Wait. Unfortunately, if you would take a look at Lucky's items, you notice some inconsistencies there.
I do. He's got Spell Thief's Edge, which is not a good look at all.
Unfortunately, if you go that item as a laner, We'll see how quickly he's going to be cut off, but at some point, if you take a look at Lucky and his buffs, you're going to see one that says, like, you get minus gold for killing minions.
Yep.
It's going to drop all the way down to, like, $2 a minion.
That is very unfortunate. So that must mean he decided to pick the recommended, huh?
I think the game recommended him that because they assumed he was going support.
But take a look at the damage that he was outputting right there.
He is winning with that support item.
Big snare coming out of Jazzy down there in the bottom lane. Eric's roommate doing a good amount of damage and flashing through. First blood going to Eric's roommate with one of the worst plays I've ever seen happen in the middle lane, but we love to see it nonetheless. Eric, what just happened right there?
I can't even tell you. That looked like two mages just auto-attacking each other. But it looks like Eric's roommate was able to get in one more auto-attack. Flash completely unnecessary. Just wasted it entirely.
Agreed. Jazzy stepping up, taking a tower shot. Unfortunate. Garen spinning to win here in the top lane. Look at that CS. Unfortunate. Yet another tower shot. Eric's roommate throwing a charm out.
Okay, Spartan has a nice CS lead. That's what I like to see, especially against a late game champ like Kill. You got to take advantage of these early game moments.
I absolutely agree with that. I am very interested to see how this bottom lane plays out. Jazz is landing a lot of snares right now. A lot of snares are being landed, which we love to see.
I think the bot lane is going to be the deciding factor in this game, if I'm honest.
I agree
Adina
with
is
that
a
as well.
master tier player, so although she doesn't main ADC, her game knowledge should be impeccable, and her positioning should be good enough if she is able to get fed. And Janelle has popped off many a games on this Ezreal.
I agree.
So whichever one of them is able to get more fed is likely going to have a big advantage. And if you notice, take a look at Lucky's items again.
Okay, he sold the spell. He sold it, and now bought in to the Amplifying Tome, the Book of Doom. Sprangus taking so much unnecessary damage in the top lane.
Luna Blackmoon is doing an absolutely excellent job of keeping this wave perfectly where she wants it. She can't be ganked, but she's able to just safely farm every wave.
And look at the HP on Garen right now. I could feel an all-in coming. Let's take a look at the CS differential here in the bottom lane. Ashe is up 10 on Ezreal. That farming under tower is Ezreal. Talk to us a little bit about that.
If you're going to be shoved under tower, Ezreal's probably the best champ to be under tower with. Because you don't have to step up as much. You have Q for attack resets. You can dodge your safe way back. It's not so bad of a time. Ooh, but Janelle ease in aggressively.
Oh boy, flashing away goes Jessica. The W is going to land. Ignite is ticking. Last shot is going to go down onto Janelle. Adina picks up one kill. Make it two. The gank has been countered, and the boys, the gals in blue pick up a double kill in the bottom lane. Dina with that double kill. Jazzy with the flash out. Really good plays all the way down the board. And again, Newsy was there for a little bit of counter gank, but I don't think it was necessary at all. I think they kind of had that under control.
I think Janelle misplayed that pretty heavily. I think she jumped in a little bit too early.
Agreed. Agreed entirely. Let's take a look at the items going in for our top laners. We got Sprangus, who made it back, picked up a dagger and some boots. Kale, still no back. Still no back is what it seems like, based on her items, unless she still had a pot available. Big charm landing here in the middle lane. Ulting in and then ulting away is Eric's roommate. With a quarter HP and 0 mana whatsoever, still just throwing that thing out there. Here comes the gank. Jarvan finding a free kill in the mid lane. Jared finding that free one. You love to see it for Red Team. Big time comeback. 10K, almost 11K to almost 9K for Red side.
Could you do me a big favor real quick, James? Could you press the O button on your keyboard and then X?
Okay.
And then X. Okay, so if you take a look real quick at the gold differentials, the biggest advantage Team Blue has here is going to be on Adina. If you see, she's almost up 1,000 gold by herself, and it's only
True.
7 minutes. That's going to put her at her item maybe about 3 minutes ahead of Janelle. So let's see if they can take advantage of that.
What does Janelle need to do to be able to get back into this game ASAP, other than not die and get kills?
Honestly, she just needs to play safe and farm. Ezreal's a super weak champ early, but really shines when she's at like 1 or 2 items. So if she can just withstand this pressure, maybe get a little bit built. Oh, Jared's here.
Jazzy is going to find a kill there. Will Janelle be able to back out of this? She's not. Dina's going to be on a killing spree. Wow.
That's what I was saying. The bot lane was the most volatile lane here. It's both teams' the 2 best players. So whichever team would come ahead there is going to have a real advantage, and it looks like Adina's taking advantage of it.
Good amount of damage being done onto Eric's roommate here at T1 Tower. Morgana is nearby, flashing away. Charm's going to land. Will it matter? Eric's roommate now forcing a flash onto Lucky in the middle lane. J4 still down in the bottom lane, working his way through to his blue side jungle. Morgana, is there going to be a fight over the scuttle? Miss smite, and still gets it. I am excited to see how Springus does on this Garen in the top lane. So far, up in CS.
Oh, good dodge by Eric's roommate.
For now.
It looks like a waste of an ult. Interesting interaction between the junglers. For Jarvan and Morgana, if Morgana hits a Q on Jarvan, he's actually still able to EQ.
Wow.
It tricks a lot of people, actually. Because he's rooted, but he can still cast spells.
Question has to be is, does Jared know that?
I hopefully we find out this game, but it's a real good way to trick a lot of Morganas. If you get hit on Jarvan, you're like, oh no, and then they try and collapse, and then you EQ them.
Eric's roommate taking a ton of damage very early right there. J4 playing down in this bot lane. Oh no, going in and ulting onto Ashe. Jazztastic with the ultimate of a lifetime. Hits on all 3. Heal comes out from Adina. It's going to be shut down gold going to J4. The ultimate comes out from Ezreal. Q lands for Morgana. Huge amounts of damage. Morgana's going to pick up a kill. Will they be able to continue this fight? Ezreal with not much HP in a dream. Jazztastic's going to find a kill. The only one left is Johnston on this Taurik. Will he survive? He's going to be able to walk away with his life. My goodness, what a fight. Wow. What just happened there, Eric?
I think that was a really good fight, but Jared got a little bit greedy trying to force the kill on Morgana or on Zyra. He already got the shot down. He should have been satisfied with that, but he forced it a little bit too much. And the exact interaction I was talking about, Morgana hit him with a Q, and he could have EQ'd away to safety, but he didn't know about it, so he just died.
CC's going to miss from Nico, and the ult from Garen is going to do fucking nothing. Nobody knows why he did that. Although, we do like to see Lucky trying to make roams happen up in lanes. That's what we like to see from our mid laners very often. Luna Blackmoon pointing out that Garen has indeed utilized his ultimate. Jazz said, hold my beer. True.
If you would take a look again,
Huge charm.
as we have a fight
Huge charm. Lucky with an ultimate. Hopefully.
He still has 2 more ults. I don't think he knows that. Oh, he does.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Gotta find it. He's not. Jared's going to pick up a kill. The Q's going to miss from Morgana. Smiting from Morgana. Ulted onto Morgana. The double kill goes over to G4 in that middle lane with a counter gank of a lifetime. My God. Wow.
Even after that fight, Team Blue is going to have a rough hill to climb here. They're already down 3,000 gold, and their gold is on the right people.
You're absolutely right in saying that. Dina, looking at that, almost 4,600?
Yeah, almost 4,600 to 2,800. I can't do math real quick. What's that, like 1,700?
Oh, no, I'm not a scientist.
It's a half item ahead of
I'm
her
I'm an analyst, okay? I'm an analyst.
She's the only one. only one in the game with a completed item, with the Kraken Slayer already done in under 10 minutes. Pretty crazy. And Janelle's over here with a tier.
What the frick?
Ooh, big roam by Lucky.
Actually, just like what we were just talking about this. We want to see our mid laners drop some roams happening right now. Spell Immune, Charm's going to miss. This may
Janelle's
be
playing
a
a little
free
bit greedy.
dragon here. Dina is kind of floating around, though.
A little late on the ult.
My fucking...
Janelle's greedy.
My fucking thing is fucking off right now.
That is the exact play that I don't like to see from Janelle. Sometimes she plays absolutely insane. Sometimes she plays out of her mind. Sometimes she makes plays like that. Or she just jumps in and dies for no reason.
I like how y'all can hear it.
Okay, thank you. God, sorry about that, boys. A little technical difficulty up here in the caster's booth. The directed camera quit working for me.
Okay, minutes missing.
And as I was saying, originally when teams are drafted, between Jared, Janelle, Adina, and Jessica, those four are always expected to pop off. And it looks like everyone is doing their job in this game except for Janelle. Unfortunately, again, hate to say it, I hate to point out.
Now listen, we're a couple weeks into this, right, Eric?
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to be kind of the meta for the past couple weeks is Janelle is not popping off. And prior to that, Janelle was a pop-off laner, a pop-off player, one that we could consistently count on week after week to dominate on the Rift and in these community game nights. Now, something has to be said. Do you think there's a little bit of a mental block, a little bit of a mental curse, a little bit of something like that going on right now? Because she was doing so well, and we highly praised her up here in this caster booth, and now all of a sudden, it seems like she couldn't buy a win. Are we seeing a little bit of superstition there?
Ooh. I think she's got something going on at home.
You think so?
Ooh, Jared messes up his EQ.
Oh, my days. Jazzy. Dina's going to continue to step up, dodge Janelle's Qs often, landing Ws, and continuing to auto all the way across the board. Look at Dina play this well. Jazzy steps up and lands a Q of a lifetime. My goodness. Down goes Tariq. The 3v2 turns into a 2v2 after an incredible play style down here in the bottom lane from Jazztastic and Dina, the dynamic female duo. My goodness.
That
No
spacing
bias,
from
by the way.
Adina was just excellent.
I couldn't agree with that more. That was
Sidestepped
beautiful to
everything,
witness.
dodged everything, and got a lot of attacks off.
Going to be the first dragon of this game, go. First dragon of this game. Unfortunately, continue. I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, we're still not seeing Nico use her passive yet.
What else is new? Ignite comes. Oh! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Sprangus finally finds a kill there in the top lane. What a big trade. Wow. Wow.
Man, we're having a good game tonight, James.
An absolutely phenomenal game. Listen,
This
I will
is
say
a
this.
banger in the making.
I think last week's YouTube video just went out this morning, and I think that it's kind of set the tone for a lot of players. I think a lot of players are going, hey, because I posted the second game of last week, which was the best game probably ever, and I think we're starting to see a little bit more competition come out in these things. I think we're starting to see more of a want and a desire to kind of win and kind of pop off. So I think we're going to see the quality of these games start to increase a little bit.
You know what? If you've been posting them to YouTube, I'm gonna take the time and get people's individual records in James's community game nights. Let's take a look at how everyone's performing all time.
Okay. I only post like one. I only post like the best game out of the 3 games. I should post them all.
Oh my god. Okay.
I should post them all.
Big ult from Lucky.
Oh man. Oh, say goodbye to Eric's roommate.
Big solo kill.
Oh my J4 going in. The ult is gonna land and the heal's gonna pop off. Will Janelle. Oh my God, Janelle's not going to find a kill, but she is going to find Ash ultimate. W is going to land. Adina has slain Janelle. Adina has slain Johnston. And Jared is running for the hills, backing for the fountain. Speaking of running for the hills, look at this. Garen's got to find a way out, and he does indeed. Wow.
Yeah, things are not looking good for Team Lucky. We already have Kale coming online. Garen's losing his opportunity to get a lead in this lane. He's down a level. Luna Blackmoon has an item. And also a lot of gold is on Dina. This is going to be tough. And also, surprisingly, the winning factor for Team Lucky is going to be Jared being 5-1. But Morgana has been there every single gank.
She has.
To counter his bot lane ganks. He has a successful 1 kill, and then Morgana comes in and is able to turn the tides.
Agreed. Now, let's discuss a few things. How does a Garen need to play when he's behind on a Kale after losing T1 tower? What does he need to do to be able to turn this around?
So at this point, what he needs to do is he needs to try to keep Kale out of the fights. He needs to keep her in top lane. He needs to go tanky. He needs to just stay in lane and force her to stay with him, because she's the stronger champion right now. He can't kill her 1v1 because he just runs at her. And if Kale can hit Q, he's slowed. Like, look, watch here. Hit him with Q. Okay, just no kiting at all. But typically you can just kite him easily.
You do see the slow coming in there.
Mm-hmm. And then as he's slowed, you just kite him. So that is what he needs to do, is just keep her in lane and keep her out of fights.
One thing that we talked about last week that I'm interested to see if there's been any change is the Kale ulting and being able to auto during so.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Will we see Luna Blackmoon make an adjustment and start to be able to auto while she's fully ulted? Oh no, flashing away even though he has ult available. Well, listen, sometimes I get it, sometimes I get it. I understand how it works.
Sometimes you heal and flash when one would suffice.
Yeah, I agree. Now, do you match this Kale? If you're Garen, are you having a match?
He has to match her. He's the only one that can. Ooh.
Agreed. Flashing in ultimate on Morgana. Morgana is going to pop that Zhonya's. Tarek with 3/4 HP and being rapidly taken down. Dina finding great spacing and great positioning. The W is going to land and kill Jarvan. Double kill in the mid lane for Dina on the Ashe with an incredible flash ultimate from Morgana. Now, 3 versus 4 in the mid lane. Ezreal, Garen, Nico. Things are looking a little rough right now for Team Lucky.
Team Eric's roommate is up by 8,000 gold in 20 minutes.
Kind of tough.
At least, luckily, Johnston is a majority of their deaths.
Now,
so he's 0-6, he's still useful.
How does Team Lucky get back into this fight?
I think the step one is they have to catch Adina. Because unfortunately, a majority of Team Eric's roommate damage is only on Dina. Ari's not a good player, is not going to hit much. Morgana isn't really like a big DPS threat. So it's mostly going to be this Ashe that they just have to find a way to get on top of.
And who's going to be the one to engage that? It's got to be J4.
It has to be J4. J4 has to go for Ashe. But again, Jessica isn't a bad player either. She can just drop ult in his ult.
True. Very true.
So I think the advantage is heavily in favor of Team Eric's roommate, but there is still small windows where they could capitalize on Team Eric's roommate mistakes.
Speaking of a
But
mistake,
if played excellently, it's done.
Speaking of a mistake, ult is gonna be able to get away, but Jazzy and Dina in that playmaking form right now. We're seeing the autos come out. We're seeing Kale be nearby. Garen, fast as fuck, boy. Jarvan is going in with an ultimate of a lifetime. So is Eric's roommate ulting. Both AD carries. Down goes Jessica. Down goes Starvin. Dina is being chased. But
I think she wins this.
I think you're absolutely right. Morgana is nearby as well. Ari is also close. Tarek gets done. Q lands from Morgana. Ari wants in. Charms Garen. Down goes Tarek. Down goes Garen. Eating out is Ezreal, but they want blood. Eric's roommate is going in. The Charms, they're going to... Oh, my God, that was so close. Oh, my goodness. They were smelling blood, boys. Smelling blood.
Ah, dang it.
For Eric's roommate, only playing, 5 games or so by now? He only plays in community game nights. Well, like a few ARAMs here and there, but he's playing pretty decently.
I
His
couldn't agree with
improvements
that
are pretty
more.
drastic.
We'd like to see him start firing up some ranked games coming up for this season 13. What are our thoughts?
I think he'll be solidly in mid to high iron.
Okay. Good prediction.
Maybe iron 1, iron 2.
Good prediction. You aren't able to auto attack as Kale in your ult though, or did they change that?
She
Yes.
just did it.
Yes. Another not
It was
knower.
changed like 3 patches ago.
Another not knower. You are able to ult in Kale's ultimate, or you are able to auto in Kale's ultimate, which is what we were discussing last week when we were witnessing a couple of Kales being played. No one was autoing, and it's because they didn't know. An ultimate is going to land here onto Tarek in the middle lane. The ultimate from Lucky is going to find itself. Jess-tastic with a huge ultimate onto J4. Down goes J4. Down goes Tarek. Down goes Nico. And say goodbye to Garen and Ari as well. The only ones that are left is going to be Morgana, Kale going against this Ezreal. Will Ezreal be able to find a way out? Out he is. And 17 seconds on blue buff about to be spawning. 2 minutes on the next Dragonius. Baron is warded up and warded well. Kale's going to be snagging that red in the jungle there. We love to see it.
To see it.
We love to see it.
Well,
No, we love to see it.
Well, I was gonna say you hate to see that was as good as it was gonna get as an engage for Team Lucky. They got the multi-person knock-up inside of Jarvan's ult. Janelle hit the 2 main targets with her ult, and they still weren't able to win that fight. So that is what you hate to see.
Man, you love to see it if you're rooting
And then
for
you
Team
love
Eric.
to see it if you're Team
If
Eric's
you're
roommate.
Team Eric's roommate, you're loving to see it. I wish I could start polls. Like on Twitch, you can start polls in chat, and I'd have a poll for each game. Who's going to win?
Ooh.
I don't think that's... Hang on, I'll have to look.
Oh, thank. What?
All right. TP coming in from Kale, going in that top side.
No, I wouldn't. I stopped moving.
Looks like the 3 squishies are hard shoving mid right now. Garen is sneaking around that backside. Jarvan's going in on Ashe. He figures it out. The ultimate is going to land from Ezreal. Charmed is J4. J4 gets ulted. Shutdown goes to J4 onto Ashe. Going deep is Garen. Igniting Shakna. The turnaround, kids. J4 is still in this fight. Charmed or not. My goodness. What a turnaround, Eric. What a turnaround.
Absolutely amazing fight. And even better, both large shutdowns are on Jared, who's going to be their team's main carry.
Oh my goodness. Finding a way to get in there and ult Ashe
I
fast.
saw her.
Wow.
Wait, let me see. Did he force that fight by Nico being a minion?
I don't even know how
Let's
to
take
do
a
that.
look.
Did they do it? I have to rewind because Jessica made a comment on it.
Oh,
I'm rewinding right now. All right, let's take a look back here. Let's take a look at J4. J4 clearing a little bit of vision here.
Where even is Nico? Oh, it's a ward. Look at Nico as the ward.
Oh, it is the ward. The ult actually
Oh
lands
my
on
God.
Nico there. Oh my goodness. The ultimate actually landed on Nico. That's the only reason Ashe dies there. If Jazzy doesn't ult Nico, they end up picking up a free dub on J4. Wow. My goodness. Oh, Kale. Oh, Kale's going to die for that dragon. Let's get caught. I'm moving back into real time now.
You know what? Despite the outcome of this game, whether Team Lucky or Team Eric's roommate wins, I'm really excited to see 2 things this game. Nico was able to use her passive,
Finally.
and Kale was able to attack while ultied.
We've got a 26-minute Baron coming in here right now. It is being melted, but J4 is there. He misses the plant over. Dives in. Will he be stuck there? No one knows. The ultimate is going to land onto J4. Down goes J4. Lucky's going in with a Nico ult. Zonius comes out for Morgana. Ash desperately trying to kite her way out of there. She's not going to be able to. It's only Zyra and Ari left. Zyra doing a ton of damage. She's going to pick up a double. And Kale is going to come in for the cleanup on Garoon. An ace for Team Eric's roommate. My goodness gracious sakes alive. We're witnessing it happen right here and right now. Baron on Team Eric's roommate in a top wave being shoved.
I'm really sad in these games recently to see Jared's performance with securing objectives. He messed up his EQ or the blast cone getting over in time, so he wasn't even able to contest it. Same thing with yesterday in those games. He missed big smites.
Very big smites, as a matter of fact. It's got to be kind of one of those same mindsets that you're thinking of when it comes to Janelle. Is it a lack of confidence? Is it is it the yips? What is it?
I think him playing on the big screen in the big games, you don't get much bigger than Dapper Jameson's local community nights. And I think the pressure is getting to him, and it really shows in his gameplay.
I think the pressure is absolutely getting to him, and I think it does show. And I think you are right. This is the big leagues. And speaking of the big leagues, we have to thank our sponsors this evening, Amazon StatCast and Tito's Vodka. Newest sponsor of the channel, Zen. If you like addictions, get yourself a Zen. Jazztastic is going to miss her Vine, but it's not going to matter. Lucky's just going to step up and tie there to Ash. You love to see it. Team Eric's roommate is working towards this bottom side, getting a little bit of vision with that Scuddler. And I got to assume that they're formulating some kind of plan. Oh, speaking of which, I think we're going to improve the quality of this of these community games. And I think what we're going to do, Eric, is we're going to have one person or multiple people, whoever, multiple people record their voice comms and put their Discord comms into the YouTube video whenever during like big team fights, so we can hear their comms.
That'd be so
as well.
good.
I know.
You can put the winning team comms.
I'm fucking psyching. Yes, exactly.
Excellent thinking.
That was a jazz idea.
You really, just based on that, you made me sit up in my chair. That's how hyped I got.
All right, huge ult lands from Jazzy. In goes J4. J4 is going to go down. A double kill is going to go over to Jessica. Makes you wonder, is this going to be the last fight? Down goes Garen. The ultimate's going to land onto Tariq. Double kill for Kale. Going in is Morgana. The Q's going to miss. The only one's left is Janelle. Janelle is kiting for her life right now. There's no wave yet, but an open inhibitor top lane. 2 tower shots being taken by Adina. 1 from Eric's roommate. They're going to be able to pick up this easy top inhib. Kiting again in that top wave is Janelle. Janelle stepping up and getting away. Double tower shots from Eric's roommate. Typical. Amazon StatCast shows he's a big fan of wearing tower damage. Let's take a look. Big wave in. It's just Janelle. Will she be able to hold the line? Rooted! Say goodbye to Janelle and easy claps. The ultimate from Nico's not going to matter. GG easy across the board. Wow. My goodness. Eric, talk to me.
Tail of the game was an insane bot gap that game. Dina was just gapping Janelle left and right. Let's take a look at the damage, and that's the tail of this game. Dina with insane damage, Janelle with near nothing. Almost half.
Whew. Man, and then, listen, not only does Dina have such high damage output, over 32k, take a look at that support. Take a look at Zyra, who's just in her back pocket the entire game. I mean, what are you supposed to do about that? What do you do? Nothing. You just die. What a great game.
That early gank really just pushed Adina way ahead. And all those failed, Jared ganks, they would get 1 kill, and then Nuzzy would just come through and then get the other 2 right back.
Agreed. Wow.
Nuzzy had excellent counter ganks compared to Jared's ganks.
He did indeed. And speaking of which, let's pull in team captain, team winner, Eric's roommate. Eric's roommate, welcome to the Caster's booth. How does it feel? How are you feeling after such an incredible win?
Oh, I'm feeling ecstatic out here. We went with the theme for the sisterhood, and it just couldn't have went any better.
Couldn't have went any better, indeed. We're looking at an Ash who went 16-5, a Zyra who went 6-5, and Starvin up in that top lane. with the 7-3 game. Listen, what were the comms going into that game? What was kind of the game plan there for you guys?
Generally, it was probably not to die mid lane, but focus more on getting that bottom lane ahead. A lot of the comms was really good. Thank God for our jungler to be able to do comms for both jungle and for mid lane, because I wasn't participating at all.
Huge. That's what we love to see. We love to see a mid laner who doesn't participate. Eric, do you have any questions for Eric's roommate? No? Okay, great. Eric's roommate, great game all the way across the board.
So I was muted.
Oh, okay, go
muted.
ahead. Okay, go
Please,
ahead.
let me go again. I was talking the whole time.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Okay. Did you happen to notice in the early game when you got your solo kill that Lucky had purchased a support item? Did that change your playstyle and how you approach the lane at all?
Oh, actually, no. I didn't even realize that.
Excellent. Glad to hear it.
But actually, I did realize it. That's why I was playing so aggressively.
Yeah, okay. Anyways,
Yeah.
you got anything you like to say to the people, Eric's roommate?
No, just thanks for all the support. I'm glad that my team was able to pull through, and we look forward for the next game.
We look forward to seeing you in the next game as well, Eric's roommate. GG's. Let's pull in the unfortunate losing captain. Unfortunate indeed. Unfortunate losing captain. Lucky. Lucky. How are we feeling after? That game, brother?
Look, we were real down there in the last half, but we're gonna pick it up next time, and we're gonna destroy them.
Pick it up and to destroy. That's what we like to see. Now, Lucky, one of the things that we've been discussing up here, both with winning team captain Eric's roommate and also with Eric as the game was progressing on, was that the first item that you purchased was a support item. Was there a strategy behind that, or kind of talk us through your choice of items there?
So I really hope no one noticed that, and I do have egg on my face.
Okay.
I went through the recommended, and the game thought I was a support.
Right.
I clicked the item, and then I didn't even think about it until I was already dead, and I was like, oh crap.
Right. Do you think that impacted your play style there in the mid lane?
Absolutely. I think I would have won the first 1v1 if I bought a real item.
I couldn't agree with that more. I'm going to toss it on over to Eric for a question for you.
You know, the game looked kind of doomed for you from the start, Lucky. It looked like you guys were just getting rolled left and right. But around the middle of the game, you guys made some really impressive team fights. You turned into a ward. You really bamboozled the entire enemy team. They didn't see that ward walking. They had no idea that was coming at them. And then you were able to get a big flank, and that was the turning point of the game. You were able to get some massive ults off, and you were getting bounties left and right. But then what happened after that? You guys, it looked like you guys were making the comeback. You were getting your flanks correct. Jarvan was going in on the right targets, and then you guys just fell apart. Go ahead and explain what happened.
Well, I honestly, I don't know. I was playing as hard as I could, and I really thought we were turning it around. I don't know what went wrong.
Also, you had some pretty excellent 1v1s. You lost early, and then I think you 1v1'd Eric's roommate as well back. Like maybe 4 minutes later or something.
You did indeed,
yeah.
and it did look good. Now, maybe, I think you might be right. I think maybe if he doesn't have that support item first fight, I think he might win that. But only time will tell, and unfortunately, we do not have a rewind clock, so we will never know how that first fight would have gone. Listen, Lucky, great game all the way across the board. Do you have anything you'd like to say to the people before we get you out of here?
Do lots of drugs.
Beautiful.
Glad to hear it.
All right, we're going to take a quick intermission, and we're going to get prepped up for game number 2 of the evening. Game number 2 coming right back at you here as soon as I pour up another drink, and we have a word from our sponsors, Amazon StatCast, Tito's Vodka, and Zinnachinos. Get your Zinnachinos on. Be right back.